Good morning, students. Today I am back with second video for standard 9th, which is packing, as we see. It is written by Jerome K. Jerome, and today we will do detailed paragraph-wise analysis. The first paragraph. So Jerome here offers to pack, and because he thinks he was good at most things in the world, and packing, he was the best packer in the world. That was his impression. So when he said this to his friend George and Harris, what did they do? They gave up the entire thing and they spread themselves in a relaxed fashion, with their legs on the table. So in the second paragraph, our author Jerome comes up with his actual intention. What was his actual intention? The actual intention was to supervise, to boss around, to tell George and Harris how to pack. But they were his friends, and they knew well enough how to handle George, how to handle Jerome, and they refused to do anything. He said, this is the thing that irritated him the most, when somebody did nothing and sat watching what other people were working hard. Now he remembered a man with him he lived. He used to loll in the sofa. Loll in the sofa means sit lazily. And he used to sit lazily on the sofa and watch Jerome doing things for hours together. He said, I would never be that kind of a person. If anybody is working, I will always go to them and tell them what to do and how to do it. Basically, it's a funny way in which Jerome presents you his idea of his self-laziness. He himself was lazy. He didn't want to do anything. He wanted to make other people work. Now, in stanza 4, he said nothing but started to pack. What option did he have? Right? So he started to pack, and initially he thought it would be easy, but it took longer than in the beginning it seemed to be. So he finished packing the bag and strapped it, and then suddenly Harris pointed out that Jerome had forgotten to pack his boots. He looked around, saw that indeed he had forgotten to find out the boots, but he was irritated with Harris because he could have said before he had done the strapping, close the bag. And Harris was laughing. This made him, George was laughing. So this was an irritable laugh, and he got very irritated. So he opened the bag and packed his boots in. Then suddenly, as he was packing the bag, as he had packed the bag, he couldn't remember whether he had packed his toothbrush or not, and that made him, very scared. He says the toothbrush is a thing which haunts him whenever he is traveling, because the day before he's supposed to leave, he gets dreams that he has forgotten to pack his toothbrush, and he sweats a lot and wakes up and looks for it. And then second thing is, in the morning he remembers he has packed it before he had used it, so he had to unpack, bring out the toothbrush again, and while he uses it, he says he had a regular tendency of forgetting it in the bathroom itself. So while leaving, he would again remember that he has left the toothbrush in a bathroom and had to run upstairs in the last moment to carry the railway station in a handkerchief, not in the bag. This is also a funny way of illustrating a simple thing like toothbrush can be found or bought anywhere. But just to say, some people have their own fears. This is one of the fears that Jerome had. And he gives a funny explanation that he has nightmares of forgetting toothbrush. These things are just to say, put the things in humor. Now, whatever thing that were in the bag, he had to turn everything, he could not find it. Then he started rummaging it, throwing things in random direction. Right? And it seemed like a position when the world must have been created. Total chaos everywhere. No things put orderly. Everything was scattered all across the room. He found George's toothbrush and Harris's toothbrush 18 times, but he couldn't find his own. So he started putting things, he got back his senses, he calmed down, He started putting things one by one by checking everything and shaking it, and he found his toothbrush inside a boot. So he had to repack once again. When he had finished, George again reminded that he hadn't packed the soap, but Jerome was no longer interested in, and he shut the bag and said, "I don't care about it. If the soap is in there, we will buy it over there." But suddenly he realized he has packed his spectacles inside it. So he had to again reopen it, bring out his spectacles and repack it. And it was a 10:05. Entire day was used to pack the bags. Now it was time for the hampers. So Harris said since they were about to leave in less than 12 hours, it was better that George and Harris did the rest of the packing. So they began in a very light-hearted spirit, trying to show him how to do it. He made no comment. He only waited. With the exception of George, Harris is the worst packer in the world. By means he says, both George and Harris are the worst packers in the world. And he looked at the things, the plates, the cups, the kettles, the bottles. Why are they put in hampers? So during journey you have to bring these things out. So people don't put these things in bags. They carry this in a hamper. Right? So he looked at all the things, the edibles and everything, and he knew that things were soon going to be exciting, funny, because he knew they were horrible packers. It did. What he expected came true. They began by breaking up. Without packing anything, they broke a cup. Then, what did they show? This was just a trailer to get you interested of what they can do. Then, what did Harris do? He packed the strawberry jam, the bottle of strawberry jam on the top of a tomato, and tomato got squashed. So they had to get squashed so badly that they had to put it out with a teaspoon. Now it was George's turn to do stupid things. What did he do? He stepped on a butter. Jerome said he didn't say anything, but came close and sat at the edge of the table to see their stupidity. Basically, his intention was to irritate them as they had irritated him. And it did. Whatever he planned came true. It did irritate them, and he could feel that they were irritated. They also became nervous. They started stepping on things. They started putting things behind them and then could not find them when they wanted them. They packed the pies, the soft dessert. They packed it at the bottom and put heavy things on the top, and even the pies were squashed. Then they start the salt bottle. They disturbed it and they put salt all over everything. And for the butter, he says I have never seen two men do more than 1-2 pence of worth of butter in a whole life than they did. See, butter, not very costly back then. What did they do? They disturbed the entire pies and they created so much drama with the butter. And he would go ahead and explain how did he do it. So first they had stepped on it. George had stepped on it. After George had got off his slipper, they tried to put it in a kettle. It wouldn't go in. The mouth of the kettle was small. Because, we put things inside other objects to save space. So to save the space, they wanted to put the butter inside the kettle. But the mouth was small, so it wouldn't go in. So they applied force to put it inside. It didn't go in. Then they tried to bring it out. It wouldn't come out. Then what did they do? They had to scrape out the butter and put it on a chair. And Harris in the story always does stupid thing. I will discuss the characters of these three people tomorrow. But first, just to let you know, Harris was the stupidest of them all. He did the most of the mess. So they put it on a chair and Harris sat on it. And what happened? The butter stuck on the backside, and they started looking for the butter all over while the butter was hanging at the backside. So this far, up to para 10 we covered today. The rest of the para, question answers and the character sketch will be discussed tomorrow. Word meanings, I don't think there are any. If there are, while reading the paragraph, I would be giving it to you. So till then, when we meet in the third video, I would like to say goodbye.